Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Haley has the night off. Thanks so much for being with us. Our top story tonight, the deadly ambush in Dallas. Police are trying to determine who was involved in the shooting that killed 5 officers and injured several others. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez joins us now live from Dallas with the latest from there.
And so many of the streets here in downtown Dallas are still blocked off as officers gather evidence and information on this ambush that claimed the lives of 5 of their colleagues. Today, heartbreak in Dallas following the loss and chaos here overnight. 5 police officers killed, 7 others, along with 2 civilians injured, when a sniper positioned above a peaceful protest against police brutality starts shooting, targeting police officers.
He said he was upset about the recent police shootings. The suspect stated he wanted to kill white people, especially white officers.
With no cover from the spray of bullets from above, officers risk their lives saving others. One seen here taking on the gunman that officer killed in this final act of bravery. Among the victims, 43-year-old transit officer Brent Thompson, who was married just 2 weeks ago.
Our hearts are broken by this loss. We are one people and we stand together.
Suspect Micah Johnson killed in the standoff. Police searching the former Army reservist home and questioning at least 3 other suspects.
This was a well-planned, well-thought-out, evil tragedy. And we won't rest until we bring everyone involved to justice.
And after Johnson claimed he left bombs hidden here downtown, police have found nothing, but still much of this area is closed as they search. Live in Dallas, Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News. Now back to you.
All right, Marcy, thank you. The tragedy in Dallas is impacting our community as well. Several law enforcement leaders speaking up about how their departments are handling the attack on officers. ABC 7's Adam Cellini spoke with some of those leaders and joins us with more now. Adam.
Scott, there's no doubt that law enforcement in both Sarasota and Manatee counties have been affected. Several department heads reaching out with a message to their officers last night and this morning. Chief Melanie Bevan of the Bradenton Police wrote in a memo to her officers saying, while we grieve for our fallen officers, don't allow this shameless act to detract from our vigilance. Other agencies reaching out through social media. Manatee County sheriffs requesting plans for a moment of silence today over Twitter, while Palmetto PD offered their own condolences in a Facebook post. Law enforcement says they are continuing to learn and evolve from incidents like Baton Rouge and Minnesota by increasing community policing efforts and focusing on the public servant side of public safety. The best way to ensure everyone's safety, many say, is to restore trust in law enforcement.
The trust comes both sides because police officers really depend on the citizens in our community to keep them safe also.
As our communities change, they want service more than policing. And we're training our deputies that, and we're training our law enforcement officers that. We continue to evolve with communities and society.
An incident such as this isn't something that we can recover from that easily. It may be hundreds of miles away, but it feels like it's right here.
All of our local law enforcement agencies wearing black bands across their badges today. It's an action that's usually reserved for a death within the state. Scott, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. The threat against police officers spreading to Orlando today. Police say a vague threat has been made against their officers in the wake of the Dallas shootings. A police spokeswoman declined to offer any specifics on the threat, but said officers were made aware of it and were reminded to be vigilant about their safety and the safety of everyone in their community. She declined to say whether the agency was beefing up security or making any tactical changes in response to the threat. And as an act of respect for the police officers killed in Dallas, Governor Scott has directed all American flags and state of Florida flags to be flown at half-staff at all local and state buildings, installations, and grounds throughout Florida. Those flags must stay lowered until sunset on July 12th per the president's order for the nation. Presidential candidates are changing their plans in response to the deadly shootings in Dallas. Hillary Clinton postponing her campaign events in Scranton, Pennsylvania today. Her campaign says she'll reschedule the event. Clinton was scheduled to appear with Vice President Joe Biden and was expected to talk about the recent police-involved shooting deaths of 2 African-American men. Clinton still plans to travel to Philadelphia tonight to speak before the African Methodist Episcopal Convention about those recent shootings. And Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump also canceling his campaign event planned for Miami today in response to the Texas shootings. Trump was scheduled to deliver a speech titled "Succeeding Together" about President Obama's historic decision to normalize relations with Cuba. Miami-Dade County is the largest Cuban-American population in the U.S. It was the only one of Florida's 67 counties that Trump lost, though, in the state's primary. A local blood bank asking for extra donations today in case Dallas asked for help. The Suncoast Blood Bank hosting a blood drive at the Sarasota Police Department. The blood bank is affiliated with a blood center in the Dallas area. Dallas has not requested any help right now, but Suncoast Blood Bank wants to be prepared in case blood is needed.
In a time like this, we try to collect extra units. We have to serve our needs first, but should we be called upon to help in a tragedy such as we did in Orlando, we want to stand ready to be able to send those units wherever they're needed.
The blood drive wrapped up earlier this afternoon. Around 25 people came out to donate. The blood bank says right now all negative blood types are needed. Time to get a check on our weather outside. We've had some storms around to help cool it down, at least for some areas. John Scalzi's in for Bob tonight. John?
Yeah, indeed. We dropped significantly in temperature because of the outflow from one large thunderstorm complex that popped up over Lakewood Ranch. Now, that storm system produced a whole lot of rainfall, multiple lightning strikes, even some small hail. When you get that kind of small hail, it's an indication that it's a pretty tall thunderstorm and consequently bringing down some pretty cool air. And that outflow has cooled off surrounding areas. Check it out, 78 degrees in Sarasota. How nice is that? We have 87 degrees Lakewood Ranch, 86 degrees Longboat Key, 74 degrees Mayaca City. Well, you didn't get the outflow. It's still a little bit warmer, though. 91 in Northport, 90 in Venice. 88 degrees in Wauchula and Arcadia. They got some storms in progress there now. Heat indexes across the state of Florida, except in areas that got the thunderstorm activity, are still pretty warm. Just go to Tampa and you've got 104 degree feels like temperature. So we're doing all right with an 82 feels like. Forecast for the remainder of the evening calls for, again, temperatures will probably climb just a little bit before sunset. But all in all, I think we're looking at about a 20% chance of an isolated shower, mostly east of the interstate, followed by tomorrow, more warm weather. Forecast details in a minute.
All right, John, thank you. Sarasota judge rules in favor of a Sarasota City Commissioner accused of violating sunshine laws. Commissioner Susan Chapman cleared today. The ruling stating Citizens for Sunshine had not proven a violation of the sunshine law by the greater weight of the evidence. Many taxpayers were angry while footing the bill for Chapman's legal fees that exceeded $340,000. An appeal is expected.
When they are sued for something in their official duties, which I was only at that meeting in my official duties of listening to the citizens, that they are entitled to representation at the cost of the city and not at their personal cost.
We'll hear more from Susan Chapman and her reaction to the verdict tonight at 11 right here on ABC 7. Visitors to Cortez Beach will have to get used to a skyline filled with cranes and construction for a little while longer. Construction on the 3 groin replacements on the beach has been delayed several times and the completion date has been pushed back. The Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources Director says the work is now expected to be completed there by the fall. The construction was supposed to be finished before the 4th of July holiday, but unstable surfaces and severe weather caused problems in setting foundations and footing for those groins. Once the project is complete, it will help keep more sand in place on the beach. Scuba divers on the Suncoast will be on the hunt this weekend for lionfish. Mote Marine Lab is holding its 3rd annual Sarasota Lionfish Derby. Lionfish have invaded the coastal habitats of the Atlantic Ocean and now in the Gulf of Mexico over the past 2 decades and are a major threat to Florida's native species and ecosystems. To address the invasion, teams of divers will try and catch as many lionfish in our area as they can. Scientists with Mote Marine say it's a great opportunity to learn more about the species and how to contain them.
So that essentially gives us an amount of fish with an amount of effort. And so year after year, we can use that data to understand if the populations are growing, shrinking, staying the same. It also gives us hundreds of specimens to collect detailed information from.
Scuba diving teams will be competing for $3,500 in prizes for the largest, smallest, and most lionfish. You can meet with the divers and scientists and learn more about the problem this Sunday from noon to 3 p.m. That's when divers will be bringing the lionfish in, and chefs will also be giving out some samples of their lionfish dishes. It's supposed to be very tasty fish. Still to come in your Suncoast News, more Olympic hopefuls training in Sarasota. The Cuba national rowing team working hard at Nathan Benderson Park. What some of the athletes have to say. And meteorologist John Scalzi will be back. He'll have the full weather forecast for the upcoming weekend. Plus, spending too much money on sunscreen, why you may be shelling out too much cash for protection.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Looks like we're getting another new neighbor.
Now you could be the millionaire next door. Play Monopoly Florida Edition scratch-off games with a top prize of $5 million. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Olympic rowers from Cuba are training this week on the Suncoast. Cuba's national rowing team practicing at Sarasota's Nathan Benderson Park. This is the second time the team has trained in Florida since diplomatic relations were restored between the U.S. and Cuba a year ago. Their main training center is in Havana. Training at Benderson is made possible by the Suncoast Aquatic Nature Center, or SANCA. The team will compete next month in Rio and will return here next year for the World Rowing Championships.
With having him here, that we are on our way to winning the gold medal. So we're very proud of that. He's doing very well physically and technically in his training, and we look forward to his success and progress.
Nathan Benderson Park will host the World Rowing Championships in September of next year. NASA's Juno spacecraft may be billions of miles away orbiting Jupiter, but that shouldn't stop you from looking at it. The director of the Bishop Planetarium at the South Florida Museum in Bradenton says although we're not able to fly to Jupiter like Juno, we can still see it in the multimedia theater there. Planetarium has a 50-foot domed screen which allows you to zoom in and out to planets. It took 5 years for the spacecraft Juno to reach the gas planet. You can also spot the planet yourself by looking to the west right after sunset. Jupiter, one of the brightest things in the sky. And John, I know you've been fascinated by this entire journey to Jupiter and what is to come as it circles that planet.
Yeah, in October we should be getting some really incredible information back. But right now they're orienting those solar panels to the sun, recharge those batteries, get things heated up and working again.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. I think Jupiter is probably the most popular of all the amateur astronomers' sights to see. You can do it with a fairly inexpensive telescope, see the red spots, see the thing. Saturn also, you can see the rings with a fairly inexpensive telescope. So kind of fun. We've got some stuff in the sky we've been watching this afternoon.
Absolutely, yeah. Some folks cool off, well deserved.
Yeah, we get one. Yeah, in 2 hours we went from 95 degrees to 78 degrees. So it's just an indication of what you can get under these big Florida thunderstorms and how much I've missed them.
Yeah, I know, all week.
I know, it's true. Taking a look at the current conditions outside, oh my goodness gracious. It's kind of delightful to see a 79 on the board. Dew point still high at 70 though, but I tell you, it feels good. A little bit of light drizzle out there. You know what? It's not going to be a big deal. I think if you had dinner plans tonight, and you wanted to maybe walk downtown or on the river walk or whatever, I think that probably by around 7, 8 o'clock, things are going to be shaping up pretty nicely. Everything seems to be in the process of kind of dying down. And yes, there'll be 1 or 2 lone showers out there, but all in all, we're looking pretty good. 90 degrees still in Venice, 88 degrees in Inglewood, 91 in Northport, but where you've gotten the outflow from those storms, 79 degrees in Sarasota, 87 degrees Lakewood Ranch, 84 Mayaca City, and inland, 85 Arcadia, 88 Wauchula. Arcadia a little cooler because they've got some pretty big thunderstorms around there as well. In fact, these storms are just not moving all that much, so they're basically going to rain out in place, and all that colder air aloft from the bigger storms is just going to pour out of those downdrafts. You can see it's still pretty scarce coverage for this time of year, at this time of day. I mean, we should have a solid line of storms building up on the sea breeze front, and probably will by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. But until then, this is the kind of situation we get, spotty showers here and there. Most of the stuff near the coast is dying out. Inland right now around Arcadia, we're getting some pretty good storms building. The one in Lakewood Ranch just producing a smattering of drizzle around the area. And you can see kind of the outflows producing a little bit of drizzle in locations as well. Northport had a larger storm earlier on. That too is in the process of just basically fizzling out, with all the activity really now over toward Arcadia, where there are a few big storms. These two are in the process of dying out, but right now the dissipating stage is just beginning, so we still have some parent cells that are dissipating and some daughter cells that are in the process of dying out as well. A couple of flashes of lightning still in progress, a slow drift back to the west, so Arcadia proper will probably get some showers here in about a half an hour or so, but most of it is in rural areas. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us. Here are the changes that will be coming up over the next probably 3 or 4 days. The high pressure ridge, which has been located just basically over us all week long, and in fact will probably be over us for tomorrow, maybe even a little stronger tomorrow, and Sunday as well, is going to, by next week, migrate to the north and out into the Atlantic. When that happens, our wind flow is going to be coming up out of the east, southeast, and that will tend to take the shower and thunderstorm activity, push it right against the coastline, as the sea breeze will be kept a little bit further toward the Gulf waters. That means better rain chances for all of us, actually. Storms that build inland will drift back toward the coast, but again, that's probably not going to happen until Monday or Tuesday of next week. Few strong, slow-moving storms around today, mostly dry near the coast, and better rain chances next week. That'll be the name of the game. As far as the RPM computer model goes, watch it, put it into motion. Storms around Arcadia dissipate out, left with a mostly clear to partly cloudy overnight sky. Showers along the coast tomorrow morning, possible with the land breezes. And then tomorrow afternoon, everything moves inland just kind of like we saw today. Pretty much a repeat, maybe even a little less coverage tomorrow. North-northwest wind at about 10 knots. Should be a nice day for boating tomorrow with that westerly flow at about 10 knots. And our rain chances double, at least I would say, by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Checking Suncoast Traffic Watch. Traffic is still tied up right now on US 41 at the intersection near McIntosh. A car hit a light pole at the intersection around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Here's video of the scene there. 2 people were taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. The southbound lanes on 41 still moving very slowly, but you can see that was a heavy crash into that pole. In health news tonight, you may be paying a pretty penny for sunscreens that are not that effective. Researchers at Northwestern University found about 40% of the most popular sunscreens on Amazon do not meet the American Academy of Dermatology's quality guidelines, including water or sweat resistance. Their study also suggests consumers spend an estimated 3,000% more on products than necessary. Sunscreen doesn't have to be fancy to protect you from skin cancer. Using SPF 30 in a broad spectrum may cut melanoma risk by up to 80%. The FDA recently approving a host of new weight loss interventions that make millions more people eligible for obesity treatments. Among the devices are balloons that inflate inside the stomach and leave less room for food, electrical impulses that trick the brain into thinking the stomach is full, and a tube that lets people drain out some of the food they eat. The new interventions do not require major surgery and are reversible. Several are aimed at the estimated 60 million Americans who are only moderately obese and are not the ideal candidates for bariatric surgery. Planned events, rewards, and other incentives may rev up employee participation in workplace walking programs. In a study that compared office wellness programs with and without enhanced features, researchers from Health Insurer Blue Cross found participants in the enhanced programs logged more steps, lost more weight, and reported more improvement in energy and mood. People in the enhanced program averaged 726 more steps per day and were more likely to meet the recommended 10,000 steps a day compared to the standard group. Researchers say the incentives also created a great deal of camaraderie among employees. Coming up, a deadly super typhoon slams into Taiwan, the damage left across the island there. And the internet is calling this dad Father of the Year. Find out why when we come back.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called 3-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dotoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Taiwan is recovering from Super Typhoon Nepartak. It slammed into the country early Friday, tearing roofs off buildings, slipping cars, dumping rain across the island. Emergency crews now say 3 people have been killed there. 142 others were hurt. The storm hammered the eastern coast of Taiwan with torrential rain and wind for several hours before making landfall. 2 Suncoast baseball players are in Taiwan in the midst of the stormy weather. Dalton Guthrie and Michael Rivera played at Venice High School. They are now at the University of Florida. They're competing for the U.S., representing the collegiate national team. Guthrie's mother tells us the team is safe and they are staying inside their hotel. The team is still scheduled to play, though, at 5 p.m. tomorrow if the weather is okay. A big scare for a woman and her 4-year-old today in South Florida. Their SUV was partially swallowed by a 10-foot sinkhole at a McDonald's drive-thru. Fire officials say the sinkhole started opening right about the time that Dolores Otero drove into the drive-thru yesterday. She stopped the car, but as the ground caved, the car went in nose first into the water. One of the car's back tires was left hanging in the air. The car began to fill with water. Otero and her grandson were able to get out of the car safely. Fire officials say the sinkhole was caused by a possible water main break. Now to a viral picture of a man the internet is calling the best dad ever. Andre Palmer is seen curled up on a cold tile floor. His son, AJ, sleeping soundly in the crib above him. When Palmer found out AJ was in the hospital for severe asthma, he rushed to be with his one-year-old after working all night. Having nowhere to sleep, his wife already napping in a chair, the awesome dad passed out on the floor.
I just woke up and looked and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a perfect photo.
To me, it's a picture of me being a father.
Picture posted to Facebook was quick to go viral with more than 3,500 reactions on Facebook. These people around the world are calling Andre Dad of the Year. Great job. Hundreds of people tried to square dance their way into the Guinness Book of World Records. 809 dancers were needed to break the record in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, near Nashville. And at last check, there were 837 dancers there. Organizers are now waiting on Guinness to confirm the number. I think they've done it. Still to come in your Suncoast News, plans for a water park in Manatee County, why one group is opposed to this idea, and what they're doing now to try to stop it. That's coming up.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
You know what scares me? No electricity. Yeah, when this magical box suddenly stops working, I call the pros at Mr. Sparky and they send a superhero to save the day. How's it going, Pablo?
It's going great, Mike.
Pablo possesses amazing skill. He can perform incredible feats at blinding speed. Superhero!
Couldn't have done it without you.
Modest, too.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Just to be clear, I don't live here.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.